up? How
What's
are you
good,
doing?
hope? Chilling.
What's pissed you off today?
To be honest, quite a bit, man. Social media is a real thing. People are
The
going mad
wild, wild
about
west.
people are going mad about all this black rights and everything, fam. So we're about to get on today, Kike. We're about to get it today.
Feeling it, eh? You're feeling it in your soul.
Feeling it, nigga, inside.
Okay, intro. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Of course, because I'm the one introducing it. If you listen to our podcasts, I introduce banter. So, our first topic is one of my favorite topics, Tiger King. What do you think about Tiger King?
Tiger King, man. Firstly, fuck Carol Baskin. All I gotta
You
say.
can't say that one, yeah? What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, sorry for the language. Apologize. I don't know, man. I mean, it's an interesting documentary because I rate it as highly as Fire Festival.
Okay, hold up.
'Cause,
Before we continue, Tiger King is found on Netflix, was released this year, yeah?
yeah,
2020. It's a limited series based off of a group of
I'll put
wild
a
people.
I'll put a
Yeah,
poster over there if you can.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think it should have gotten the hype it did, or what's your opinion on Tiger King?
Um, I feel I don't know, with today's world, almost anything can get hype. So
Hmm.
I wouldn't base it off the hype. I just watched it because, to be honest, I saw the trailer and it interested me.
Yeah.
So like when I watched it, the first two episodes, you're wondering, okay, so where is this going, fam? So are
Hmm.
we are we supposed to hate Carol? Are we supposed to hate
Joe
Joe
Exotic.
Exotica?
Mm.
So at the end, it just shows you that it's more about the exploitation of animals and all that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry
Mm.
again. Um, but it's put an introspective on the fact that now people are more aware of the case that's going on with Carol Baskin.
But I think it's taken away from probably what the producers were trying to do. Because
Mm.
if you look at it, someone will say, yeah, I advocate for Joe Exotic, but then another celebrity will go and literally yesterday post, I'm not going to say which celebrity, I'm not trying to be added, but he has a small cat that should not be owned by a human. So you're just like,
Yeah.
what are we taking away from this? Is it more just hype, or because like you find people who are saying but Joe Exotic is very racist and is
Yeah.
actually afraid of cats. That's why he was constantly punching them and abusing them. And then you find people who say but Carol Basket or Bassett, whatever her name is not really advocating for cats because she's making money off of it, but she says her whole program and design is to help the cats. But you're wondering they're still in an enclosure.
Engage, yeah. It's like how you helping it,
Yeah.
you know.
But
So it's like
mhm,
if she's using them to exploit and like basically what Joe Exotic is doing, but with a different message, like I'm rescuing animals rather than
mhm,
I'm showcasing animals, but you're both exploiting these animals. So with that documentary, it's both good and bad to the economy or the society because
mhm.
it's also encouraged people to not start collecting their own animals because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we can keep big cats, so I'm gonna have some big cats in my house. And I'm
But
just like,
my
nah.
question is like, even when you're like buying this animal, you know what animal instinct is. This thing one
Yeah,
day will look at you and just be like food.
guaranteed.
Especially people who keep them in their homes with children. I'm just like, you're trying to
First,
kill people.
this thing for like I don't know point it to one particular race that do it, but
Mhm.
this thing for like your animals licking your kids, it's just weird. I personally just find it weird. It's
I
like
don't
the
know.
baby is just born and then like this dog is just licking the
But they
hell
say
out of it.
children who were born with animals in the home have a lower chance of like asthma and certain
Oh yeah, true,
allergies.
true, yeah. But I mean
Uh,
either way.
but the whole leaking thing, Yeah, even me, because of the smell of a dog's mouth.
Mouth. Ew. I can imagine like I love dogs, like and I'll play with them, but like I mean
Mhm.
licking my face, man. Nah,
Yeah, that's a different
nah.
whole ball game.
Crossing that boundary, bro.
I watched a video actually though. If those for those of you who have not watched Tiger King, the biggest thing that came out of it was she was accused of killing her husband and feeding him to the tigers. So recently there was also another video about by a what are they called? He's like a body analyst, so he looks at normal human tics that would show lying, happiness, those type of things. And he goes into the fact that every time she talks about her husband, her late husband per se, because we don't even know where the body is, but like he
Allegedly.
says allegedly the person who was killed, yeah. When you look at how someone lies, there are certain tics. Some people tap, some people look away, those type of things. Every time she talks about her husband in this documentary, she presses her lips. So he says it's a sign of hiding something, but you cannot use it in a court of law, you know? So
Yeah.
I just feel like also with this whole thing, there's a lot of hype behind it. Of course, it helped because they reopened the case, because a lot of people were like, why is it that we
Excuse me.
believe this babe killed her husband? The
Yeah.
daughters have told you, the wives have told you, his own lawyer, his own secretary, and you guys just brushed it off. And she doesn't want to share any of his money. So you're wondering,
It's true.
what's
What she's saying is it really true? You know,
yeah,
it's like firstly the memes that have come out of this show just entertain me for days. I was like, if people aren't like in with news, Kim Jong Un was supposedly missing. The
yeah,
picture was missing,
yeah.
and like the memes that came out that Carol Baskin was the last one to see Kim Jong Un, and I was just dead. I can
But
put
I
it up there
guess
for you guys, but I was like, I was dead.
I guess it's just the same way you were saying. A lot of people get like information from memes nowadays,
Yeah, yeah.
especially millennials, because I guess we just don't like watching normal news. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't fully believe that someone would get on a plane and leave their belongings in the car, or the plane was never found. It just sounds so far fetched to me.
Even like that even wasn't the most impossible part. It's the fact that the will put her to get everything,
But
and
how
like
many
the
times have we
kids, and
seen that happen, Bash?
I mean, like it does normally happen, but the point where like Shizano came out and said, "Oh, because he gave me everything, I felt like I should give them something." That's a
Yeah, but don't you think she was just trying to look for like retribution because she broke a whole family up? Realistically, she broke the family up so that she could gain him, I guess, as property or whatever her
lie.
mental state was while doing this. But even the way everything was dealt with after he disappeared, from them going to his office and breaking doors, you're wondering, is it necessary for you to do that if everything was like 100%, you know?
True. I mean, I know there's both sides had their reasons for why they did what they did.
Hmm.
Neither of the reasons were what's the word, like acceptable.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's a sense of like there's so much doubt in her story, like her entering the office,
exactly.
like
It's
breaking
like
into the
you can
office.
poke holes in everything
Mm,
she's saying, but you can't prove that she killed her husband, you know? But it's
yeah.
just the same way I ask again. With all the stories of this guy being racist, the, his biggest fans are people of our color. Yani, you see celebrities posting him, and you're just like, no, if it's true, he probably can't stand your skin color. So, my friends,
Probably
you're not,
won't allow you to take him out of prison and look at you like, nah, fam.
if it's not someone of my skin complexion, I don't know what we're doing. But I guess it is what it is. Did you see the prank they pulled on her?
Yeah, by those guys, those youngins. That was hilarious.
Uh, uh, But
Like, I mean,
she's released a whole statement and it's on CNN, their
mm,
webpage, where she was saying she finds it funny and she doesn't think it was done in bad nature. I was just like, okay.
She's probably enjoying the publicity she's getting. Like she's
Of
like in the
course.
series that say she's a social person. Like she loves social media. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing probably so hyped
I
over the
think she's
fact.
also hyped because at least it takes away the negative connotations that she's been getting from
Mm,
everyone who's watched Tiger King. So I think to her it seemed like, okay, even if it's a prank, it's a better way to show my brand because of course she got to talk about what's it called? The big cat enclosure or something.
yeah, they can rescues or
Um
something like that.
yeah. And I guess it made sense even after for her not to request for it to be taken down because she was getting publicity. All publicity is good, I guess, when you're a celebrity. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say for her. Like to her, there's nothing like bad publicity.
Did you find her husband strange?
I felt like he was like those guys who are in a cult. Like you know when you're just like
I
you
was
see
just
him
like, he's
saying
so
everything
creepy.
off like script, like it's been scripted what he's saying.
He's so creepy. I don't know what
He's
it
weird.
was about him, but I was just like, I'm not too sure about this situation. These guys are creep. Also, another thing I found strange about the whole series was the fact that everybody he employed had a record.
Yeah. It's
And I was,
basically, if you think about it, it's probably the only people who you could get to come work at this facility.
of course, for like cheaper and all of that, but like
Yeah.
I watched a video the other day where I guess it was after Tiger King and they all got to talk and all of that. And I was just like, why is it that only one person went to jail?
Yeah.
That's my issue. They are snitches. There are other people who have certain big cats or animals general that are illegal. But one person went to jail, the other one I don't know was just indicted, and I'm just like, we're
I
not
mean,
dealing
with
with the core issue.
Joe Exotica, it's because of all the things he did that led to him going to jail. I mean, he kept
Yeah.
pressing jail and he kept going to court and everything. So his case files were building up on him. So
But don't
he
you
was
think
the
that
most likely
Carol
to go.
Bassett was just trying to break him down? She didn't really want money because he couldn't afford to pay her. At the end of the day, we
Yeah.
all know he couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But I think the way she looked at it was if I can break him down to the core, there's nothing else he can do to affect me.
Definitely. I mean, she's a
Hey,
vicious woman, so I'm guessing that's what she was trying to do.
did you see what his husband looks like now? And he's married to a woman.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even
he's
see that.
married to a woman. You know, have you seen like the new episodes where they talk about how his first husband, Kevin, the very
Yeah.
young guy, killed
Yeah.
himself?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just have to ask yourself, did you have to keep someone sedated for them to stay with you? Because this guy talks about how majority of the people he was with were not gay, per se.
Yeah.
But this guy was constantly dragged per se. And for people who smoke weed, I don't know. But he was on like drugs and methamphetamines. And you ask yourself, why is it that you're constantly allowing your second half or third, because he was married to two men, constantly just be doing that? And I was just like, hey. But can you also imagine someone shooting themselves in front of you?
That's a traumatic. Like I don't even want to think about such things,
Like,
man.
no, in the sense of when that guy is explaining it, you're just like, oh my gosh. And all you can hear
Yeah.
is video. They're talking, they're talking, they're talking, then off. I'm just like, ah.
You just let that stand like damn. It's I don't understand.
Yeah. But on a
This
softer note, yes, his former husband is married to one of the ladies who worked at the place that he owned.
that's interesting.
He's
I suppose.
clean now. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it was a pressure thing where you have to keep someone drugged so
Yeah.
that they stay with you.
Yeah. I mean
Because how is it that one kills himself, one goes and marries a woman? You're
it's
wondering.
because there was an episode that where it dealt with them like cult mentality, like Doc Antle,
Yeah.
and how they'll entice you with like goods and gifts and keep you busy so that you keep yourself distracted from the fact that you're being brainwashed at this moment.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's a tough ask to think that maybe he does deserve to be in jail or maybe he doesn't. I mean, I was watching this thing on Netflix also. It's called like 100 Humans, where
Oh,
this
yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I don't know if
yeah,
I get though, but mhm.
they were dealing with like the science of like attractiveness, and they were
Yeah.
seeing how people like sentence certain people to jail,
Hmm.
and like the more attractive you are, the less sentencing you get, because they feel like
That's true.
someone who looks this good can be this type of person.
But that's like, I'm a very big fan of Criminal Minds. PS, I've like watched 7 seasons in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
But they also talk about how it was so hard to find like Ted Bundy because he was such an attractive man. People couldn't understand how someone who looked so normal and so good could like do those type of acts. So I agree with it. Attraction is a very big thing, and what we consider good looking is also
yeah,
something that will deter you from thinking that this person is capable of those type of things. So,
yeah, yeah.
mm, in other news, this thing in Kenya, can you please explain to me what's going on with this one sausage, two beers situation?
So like I said in our first episode, we've been put in lockdown,
Hmm.
and recently restaurants were opened up, and
Okay,
turns out that certain restaurants that never used to sell alcohol now sell alcohol
okay.
because clubs are still closed, bars are
Yes,
still
yes.
closed.
Hmm.
So clearly, the only way for you to get a drink in a restaurant is you can't just come and sit down and order a drink.
Yeah.
You have to order a meal.
Hmm.
So what guys are doing is they'll go to a restaurant, order one sausage and two beers, and
Yeah, because I
after
saw a
going
video
down,
where the CS of health was saying Kenyans really need to stop this joke of one sausage, two beers. And the problem with that is right after, like even before he had talked about all of this, Kenyans had already started posting memes about how they were just going to go and order, let's say, chips. Then you order four beers. And I guess there is some truth behind it because I am friends with a lot of people who are following this rule, which to me is a bit ridiculous because I ask myself all the time, and majority of them are young people, by the way, people in our age bracket. I ask myself all the time, is it that you have to dunda, which is partying for those of you who don't know, so seriously that you can't stay in the house and drink? I'm not understanding what the problem is. Is it the culture?
I don't know, man. It's some people are just addicted to the turn up, and now that you've been told you can never turn up, the slightest opportunity you get, you're taking it
But then
100%.
aren't you afraid of your, like maybe your friend has it and then you take it home? This is not something, the thing I'm not understanding is the fact that majority of these people know their parents are high risk
Yeah,
people. Yeah. Majority of them still live at home. So
yeah.
the fact that you have to go and drink, you don't know who all these other people have interacted with. So you hang out with them, you drink with them, then you go home. Now you're putting everybody in that homestead in jeopardy because you had to drink.
I mean, firstly, the fact that these guys find like every opportunity they can to turn up, I don't think in their minds they're also thinking that, oh yeah, I live with this person and I'm maybe putting them at risk. I doubt that's on their mind. That's
Yeah.
something you need to consider. Such people probably aren't thinking rationally.
Hmm.
They're just following their passion, which is an addiction to the turn up.
Drinking is a passion now. Can you
I
put that
mean,
on your CV? When you're asked what are your hobbies, you say the dunda.
yeah,
What?
no, I'm passionate in portraying my ability to
Break
entertain myself
laws.
in a club for hours.
I really don't get it because, like, I was talking even to my parents and they were saying they've been sent pictures of people drinking in like Baringo on the airstrip and leaving bottles and all of this. And I'm just like, what is happening?
So I don't know. Kenyans, I don't wanna have to say it, man, but it's just this African mentality we have, where it's just like, you know what, screw it. We have so many diseases in our country. I mean, people are dying from malaria, cholera. Something's gotta get us. So they're like, fuck it. Sorry again for the language. But they're like, you know,
You like cussing too much, but you have a
sorry, yeah,
point.
I know, my bad, my bad.
I get it, but like, I guess it's just the same way that once they've like, because in Old Town and Easily they had to input the lockdown on those certain
Yeah,
places,
yeah.
but then you found videos online of people literally leaving those areas because they don't want to be part of the lockdown, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's quite concerning because you ask yourself, is it that you don't understand why the government is doing what they're doing? Or is it the way that the government said they were going to do it, that they allowed people to be able to get away with these type of things? I don't fully understand why we, or is it because you've not seen someone you know die from corona, so it doesn't fully affect you?
I think that actually does add to it because it only gets serious when it comes to your family. But when you see the news, it's just more like, ah, I
It's
mean,
a statistic you just see and you say,
statistic,
okay.
yes. I'd survive, you know. I'll put a mask on, I'll do my thing. But I mean, it could be a case of like maybe you may have like not too severe of a case,
Hmm.
and then you pass it on to someone who may end up dying, and like you
Yeah.
wouldn't know that, but like the government obviously wouldn't tell you, oh, because you're in contact with this person, you caused their death. But I mean, it's probably happened enough times where you've contracted the COVID, and then you've probably gone on a public transport, given it to somebody else, and then that person has passed
But I think it's also because, like, for instance, here, there's a
on.
certain amount of lax that is so concerning. When this thing came up, when I had just come to Texas, because I wasn't in Texas first, um, you'd go to like the supermarkets, everybody has gloves, everybody has masks. Now, the other day I went to the supermarket, this lady has no mask, no gloves, walking around with a 5-year-old. And you're just asking yourself, my friend, is it that you're not seeing on the news that small children are dying? Or
How
is
was
it?
she allowed into the place without a mask? Because like when us
So
girls are
that's,
here, certain places you can't enter without a mask.
let me tell you, Costco is the only supermarket chain that requires you to wear a mask and gloves. The rest don't. So you also have to remember what part of America I'm in. Um, and the fact that to them, some people just believe it's a story. So it's not only Africa that we have this mentality. I think it's just some parts of America are also wild, you know, because you're trying your best to, of course, ensure that even if you don't have it or if you do, you're not giving it to the next person. Because I was even talking to my uncle the other day, and I was saying that even if you have corona and it might not be showing, you're going to a supermarket where someone has to do a job.
Yeah.
So you're affecting someone directly and they don't even know you, you know? So I just
Yeah.
think it's, to me, that's why this whole thing, especially with our generation, is so annoying. Because I'm like, with all the information you have, you choose to be ignorant.
I mean, um, firstly, as myself, I take blame on like being ignorant at a lot of topics.
Yeah.
So I can't really blame them for choosing to be ignorant. But I mean, in this type of situation where it's like a worldwide pandemic that's affecting everyone,
Hmm.
it should be important for you to at least be aware of of like the situation that we're in,
Yeah,
and like the best way for you to get back to normal life is just to like comply. Because the more
true.
you fight it, the longer it will take for us to get like finally get back to normal and have
Of course,
this
yeah.
stand up that everybody really wants.
I don't think we'll go back to a normal. There won't be any like normalcy of, let's say, January. Yeah. But of course, we'll reach a point where we'll have to keep moving on. But without people trying, it will take longer.
It's the same thing with this like Black Lives Movement thing. I know
Hmm.
you don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
I know you don't like it, but I'm about to push it on you, KK. Because
Let it be
today, I
quiet.
mean,
It's fine.
today morning I saw this post by Lizzo about um, how the system is like what needs to change. And I'm like, something about the system, not even just like individual states or countries, more
Hmm.
of how the world works. That system has
Hmm.
been inbuilt in our history for like years.
Hmm.
And for you to change something like that, it'll drastically change how the world works. And like, as
But
much as
don't
we
you think
want,
sometimes that's necessary? And I mean, like, realistically, going back to COVID, it's happening, not by choice. It's happening
it is happening, yeah.
because if you look at how all the first world countries, the ones we thought would have their stuff together, e.g., America, look at how many people are filing for unemployment. This is something they never thought could happen.
Yeah, I mean, they were so assured of themselves that they're like, yeah,
We
this
are
is
as guys were good. Look what's happening. And I think a lot of countries have been like shook in their boots. But the
Mm,
biggest thing is people of color are the ones who are suffering the most. And immigrants, all of us who are considered minorities. Yeah. But I don't, and this is why I don't like having this conversation, is because we like to make our problems first world problems. We
yeah,
are not at par.
yeah,
So when we
definitely.
talk about systems, we cannot compare systems.
Things. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, we can't. So it doesn't work like that.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we're catching at straws when we are saying, oh, yeah, this is happening here, so this should happen in Africa. How? How?
It doesn't correlate, man. It's the
Yeah.
same way people say, like if Europe and America get a vaccine, then we're all saved. Firstly, they are saved. Then when it comes to now us guys getting a vaccine guaranteed, we'll probably be given some fake vaccine first.
It's not even that. The thing people forget are vaccines are not free.
Yeah.
They won't just come and say, you know what, your people are dying, so we think from the goodwill of our hearts, we're just, my friend,
Nah, nah.
it doesn't
They're
work
even
like
planning to experiment on us. So I mean,
Thank
this
God
gives me a good idea.
our presidents have started standing up, but
Yeah.
not everybody's president is the same. That's the thing. And it's around the world. We're not just talking about Africa. So realistically, that vaccine, we're lucky we come from Kenya because we have a growing economy. Not right now, but we're one of the
It is what
countries
it is.
in Africa that could have the potential of getting the vaccine faster than other African countries, but we also have a greed that will not allow us to share it.
Oh yeah, definitely, fam. And then if a two share it, man, will probably be like if it's the price doubled by the Europeans and Americans for us, we will triple it for
Exactly.
these other guys.
But you
And
see,
like,
that's why it's just the same way you can say, okay, yeah, we have the African Union, but how much do they do for us? You still have to pay for a visa to go to South Africa. So
Africa, yeah, you could even
explain
be
to me.
rejected to go to South Africa because they're like, nah, you don't have enough money in your bank account, fam. So
So it's just to me the whole situation with these systems. We first have to deal with our own systems before we go and defend other people's. That's just how I feel.
yeah, because that's how it's gonna go on. Like the fact that these systems, like I was saying, like as much as you want them to change, they're
Mhm.
actually supposed to be there. They're put in place to actually help us. It's
But
the
not all
people
systems
who.
work. That's the
That's what I'm
problem.
saying. Because it's the people who are manipulating the system that make it not work. Because with the way the world is set, certain people already put in power, and we can't
Of
change
course. Yeah.
it. And that lineage of power has kept in the same, basically, let's say, same circle of people for
Hmm.
centuries. So the best way we can change is now to probably change like how we appoint leadership or what we do with our leadership. Because like it's a point where it reaches if we don't take charge of like how things are gonna be run, then we'll be complaining about the same things. Our kids will be complaining about the same thing. our kids will be complaining about the same thing. Because we can still change the system as much as we want, but those will be the same people running that system.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even that in itself is difficult. I mean, you can't just like be like, oh, we don't want you for president, man. We want this guy.
True, and also every country has its own problems, so
yeah,
we have to figure out how to change our systems to make them work for each country first, as I said. So yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep.
Till next week.
All those goodies.
Bye.